Qigong is a very wide scope Chinese medicine base. It goes back 3,000 to 5,000 years, depending on what books you read. But the general term Qigong really means breath work. Qi being breath, Gong meaning work. It has no religion to it. It's simply a method of exercises that use the breath, that opens up the channels and the meridians in the body, allows the energy to flow, then you have good health. I guess, to put it simple, if I was to take a hose and I kink the hose so that the water can't flow, it'll trickle out the other end. Well, if this is the meridian system, which is connected to all the major organs, and that energy that's necessary for it to have good health is not flowing, then something's going to break down, and it's going to break down in the entire system. So what you want to do is have that hose opened up, the water flowing, in this case the qi flowing, so it gets to every single cell in the body. And when that happens, good health follows.
When you're relaxing here, you're bringing in qi in to what's called the pa hui point, or the crown. This is where it's starting, as well as getting the qi flowing and relaxing the mind, so you get down to more of an alpha state, relaxation. So here what we do as we finish.
All Qigong involves some form of breath work, but then outside of that, there's different forms of postures that you would use. There's about 3,400 different types of Qigong. You can do everything from sitting, standing, walking, moving, and every animal on the planet pretty much is a Qigong named after it. And they're all good. They're different for different purposes. Some you'll have balancing the heart, some you'll have for the kidneys only, some you'll have for pancreas, some you'll have for the knees, etc. So the Qigong that I do, and there's several types of Qigong that I do, but the main one is the 24 posture Qigong. Now 24 posture Qigong, the postures are relatively simple, but it was developed by one of the last great Chinese martial artists, the doctors, a fellow by the name of Wang Ziping. His daughter, Wang Zhurong, and her daughter, Helen Wu, and I'm fourth generation in this family lineage. But Wang Ziping and his son-in-law, Dr. Chen Diwu, who still practices his Chinese medicine in Houston, Texas, formulated this over several years. They actually tested some of these exercises in hospitals under medical conditions to verify their significance in helping the body. Then they actually put the systems together so that it starts at the top of the head, works every system in the body, muscle group, joint, all the way down to the big toe. And you follow it in that particular order. And you combine the breathing with it, along with these exercises, your health does improve, without question.
Qigong literally translated is breath work. Breath is the qi that comes from the breath that nourishes the body. So when you do it, you want to bring the oxygen right down into the total lungs in the bottom third. So when you breathe in, make sure that your belly expands, breathe out, relax it, and it will contract.
It's really a simple concept. And again, energy from qi, what they don't understand, and some people don't even agree that it exists, but it's like gravity or air. You can't see it, but you can see its effects. You can see the effects of qi, and you can feel the effects of qi, especially if I do what's referred medical Qigong, where I apply qi to somebody else's body. But when you open these channels and the qi starts to flow through the entire system, then you feel better. Chinese language, which doesn't have an alphabet, they use characters, and most of the language is done in concepts or phrases. So in Tai Chi and Qigong, when you see a particular posture, it resembles something in their language. So absorb the pure essence from the mountains and the sea is called for the very first posture. It's about absorbing qi. It comes in from all parts of the body, from the top of the head, 9 points on the bottom of the feet, but it also comes in through the skin. So by standing in a particular position and relaxing, you allow the qi to enter the body. The other animal postures, it imitates. A falcon spreading its wings, this type of posture. So it's more of a language thing, how they came up with these particular postures. There is nature Qigong. Now, Qigong understands that everything is energy, and that trees and plants and so on have a particular energy for it. a matter of fact, Tai Chi, it was very closely related to Qigong, refers to trees a lot in its understanding of rooting and such. When you do this with trees, first off, you need a positive tree. Sounds strange, but you want one that keeps its life force year round, which would be like an evergreen. A pine is one. Secondly, you want to do it not in the spring and not in the fall. You want to do it in the summertime. In the fall, it starts to shut down the internal. The leaves stay green, but it starts to shut down its energy. In the spring, it starts to wake up. And even by June, the ground is still too cold. So as you get towards July and August, it's perfect for doing the tree qigong. But what you do is you bring in the positive energy from the tree, and you send in any negative energy that you have into the tree. Now, as crazy as it sounds, there's a positive and negative to everything. It's a lot of polarities. And qi is also positive, and there's also negative qi. If you have a cancer cell, the energy around that would be a negative qi. So these kind of things that you want to, and besides, it's great meditation. I just kind of enjoy it. So people have asked me, why does this affect cancer? Why does it affect multiple sclerosis? Why? And then again, it turns around, it affects narrowing of the spine or scoliosis. And then in the same token, we're talking about Guillain-Barré syndrome and all these different things. Everybody's doing the same postures, but they have all their own experiences. Well, if you have a bad back, that's your experience. And when it gets better, that's your experience. But if you have a cancer or a multiple sclerosis and it gets better, that's your experience. But the body doesn't change. It's the same. It's a bunch of cells. It's an energy system. And if you get it working in this body, the body will heal what it needs to heal in order. That's what it's designed for. That's why we have an immune system. And medical science has proven that if you do Qigong for at least 2 weeks, you'll dramatically increase the immune system. Well, I'm 55 years old and I generally don't get sick. I haven't had a cold. I consider myself in relatively good health, but I do this Qigong every day. Most of the times it's twice a day because I'm teaching it so on, and I get to do it with the students, so that's a big benefit. But it's not so much for me, it's for the people that I teach and that I work with, people that have been diagnosed with major arthritic diseases, which don't have the pain anymore. Sciatica, no more. Neck pain, gone. And the list goes on and on and on. In the West, we generally don't care about our health until we get sick. So right now, okay, I'll drink, I'll smoke, I'll eat bad foods, I'll do this, I'm okay. And all of a sudden, they go to a doctor for a checkup, and bam, they find they've got this serious problem. Now they want to get better right away. All right, so take prevention, and when it comes to healing, do it yourself. Start with a program and work out from there. And if I can help anybody do that, I'd gladly do that.
Canada's wildlife. Visit hww.ca.